This is Frank Fantini, and I'm here with Mike Rumbolz, who is the CEO of Everi. And as a reminder for those who might need it, Everi is the marriage of two separate companies, Global Cash Access, which is the dominant cash payments company in the gaming industry, and Multimedia Games, which is a slot machine company based out of Austin, Texas. And last year the name was changed, a coincidence with G2E, to Everi. Before we begin, we did a little interview of me a few minutes ago telling our story. And one of the things I talked about was becoming an investor personally in the gaming industry in the mid-1990s. Mm-hmm. And one of those companies that I invested in early on was a company called Anchor Gaming. And as I recall, the young CEO of that company was a guy named Mike Rumbolz.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and young is the correct adjective to use there. Yeah, that was quite a while ago, though.
It was. Mike, we're going back. You had a lot of years of experience in this industry from many different perspectives, and you had a lot of years of experience as a board member at Everi. But you've only been a CEO for a relatively short time. What have you learned in your first few months as CEO of Everi?
Well, there were several things, Frank, that I found somewhat surprising. The thesis for the purchase of Multimedia Games by Global Cash Access was the distribution play, that we could use the distribution that Global Cash Access, the more dominant player in the payment space, had to increase the distribution of the multimedia gaming devices, now Everi gaming devices. And I had always believed as a board member that while that had value, I wasn't certain that that was the best reason for putting the two companies together. As I got into the company and started looking at it, I realized that was more the case than I had believed. The distribution, while it had occurred to a degree, there had been introductions made where the machine side of the company had not met a particular client or customer, and the payment side, on the other hand, may not have met a particular customer of the machines. There was a lot of crossover that already existed. And the casinos that knew who we were as a result of the payments business also knew Multimedia Games from their machine business, and almost vice versa. And so when I first sat down in the chair, one of the things that I began looking at very carefully was how we could change that investment thesis back to where I thought was probably the most important aspect, which was moving the games and the payments side of the businesses into joint products that only Everi could offer. That we were the only ones in the industry that had the ability to take values from outside of a casino, whether it be from your checking account or credit or debit account, bring it to you in the casino, allow you to then use it in a somewhat frictionless manner throughout the casino, and then when you're done with your gaming day, send it back into your accounts. And that not enough work had really been done on focusing on those kinds of products for the gaming industry, so that we could enmesh ourselves more to the casino floor and casino operations. The other thing I noted when I got in was that gaming operations were not as concentrated or focused on as I perhaps thought they should be. The company operates over 13,000 gaming devices in multiple jurisdictions on multiple casino floors, and yet the company was not paying as clear a focus. They were luckily for us in the process of being able to connect to their machines and obtain information in real time, so that at disparate locations around the country, we could start analyzing data and taking a look through our analytics models as to how machines were performing, how we could improve that performance. But there really wasn't anybody in charge of operations per se. And so we've spent a bit of time now really focusing in on gaming operations and helping the casino floor where our machines are sitting get a better win per unit per day, which in turn helps us get a better win per unit per day.
And by gaming operations, you're talking about your lease of slot machines,
the machines
to casinos on a revenue participation
Correct.
basis.
Correct.
you've got two very different kinds of companies. Maybe we should focus on each one first.
Sure.
What's new, what's happening at the payments side of the business?
Well, on the payment side, I think probably what most people will be more interested in at this year's G2E will be the wallet and how we have expanded the use of the wallet, the Everi wallet or e-wallet, so that you can use that both in your home, whether it be on a social gaming site, whether it be on an in-app payment game that you're playing that's not a gambling type game, and use that wallet both there, but also use that same wallet in a casino environment, and use that wallet in the casino environment to get money from a kiosk, get a virtual ticket, take that to a gaming device, and have the virtual ticket deposited virtually into the gaming device, use it there, and then have it transferred back into your mobile device. And then from there at the end of the day sent back to your home or kept on your mobile device so that you can use it in other venues outside of the casino. And I think frictionless payments is really going to be the wave of the future on casino floors. And on the game side, we've got just a multitude of offerings that we're going to be showing here at G2E. Some of the things that multimedia did not have in the past, we've now corrected. There'll be for the first time, wide area progressives. We're starting our wide area progressives in Class 2, which is a virtually untouched market. There's currently one wide area progressive in Class 2 that's gained traction. We're going to be bringing in the second and the third. And we'll be doing it in another area where the company has now ventured and the first time has gotten into the licensed and branded products. So we'll be taking the new Penn and Teller gaming devices and bringing those into the marketplace on a wide area progressive in Class 2. We'll be doing the same thing with the Casablanca project. That product will be put into a Class 2 casino environment in a wide area progressive. But we also have additional licensed and branded products, Casper and Hot Stuff and Underdog and Richie Rich that all have different form factors that provide the company with really a whole new area of games that they've not been able to sell into previously. But perhaps the one that is going to be most watched will be the Fruit Ninja application. We've taken Fruit Ninja as a product, as a branded product, and brought it out in two form factors initially. One will be a typical gaming device, multi-reel video poker or video slot machine that has then, as part of the bonus, the typical Fruit Ninja slicing fruit game as the bonus feature. It'll have all of the feel and symbols that you would expect from Fruit Ninja, so it'll be very familiar to people with the game. But that'll be a standard random number generated game brought out into Class 2 and Class 3 markets. The perhaps more exciting to me use of Fruit Ninja will be in the pure skill environment. Because we have about 500 some odd placements of turn event throughout the gaming industry in North America, when those turn event machines are no longer in revenue mode, meaning that they're no longer making money that has to be accounted for and tax paid on by the gaming regulators, we can then put, for promotional purposes, a tournament on that is pure skill. And it's Fruit Ninja, as Fruit Ninja is played currently on mobile games, and it will give the marketing departments of casinos the opportunity for perhaps the first time to take some of these newer, pure skill games and see if the market out there is prepared to come into casinos to play those games as part of the promotional events that a casino puts on.
Okay. It's interesting evolution of skill-based.
It's a way of bringing pure skill into the casino space without having to amend a bunch of regulations and worry about that, because we're in the tournament promotion environment. Now the initial form factor, the traditional game will in fact have to pass all regulatory requirements, and we're prepared to do that with it.
One of the stories for the game side of your business has been literal expansion into new jurisdictions. Mm-hmm. Is that pretty much accomplished now, or are you still entering new?
No, I think there are a couple of provinces now in Canada that we have yet to enter, but I think primarily we're done with the jurisdictional licensing. What we're going through now, though, is the phase of game licensing. So even though we may have a particular jurisdiction that we didn't have previously and we're approved as a manufacturer, we now have to get our game sets approved. And we are going through that process. We have approvals now in most of the jurisdictions that we've looked into, and we've had sales in most of those jurisdictions. There are a few that are a little slower than others, and so we've got games that are still in the queue that haven't come out yet. But I think that's pretty much behind us, and now it's a matter of getting all of our portfolio games approved.
So you've kind of set the stage, and now you have that opportunity to grow.
Correct. And grow, hopefully across all of the markets, whether they be Class 2 or Class 3 throughout North America, Canadian or American.
On the payments side, one of the challenges for all of the payments companies over the years is that it's kind of a commoditized business. Mm-hmm. And when contracts come up for renewal, the way to win them is to underbid the incumbent. So pricing power has been an issue. What is Everi doing to maintain that competitive edge?
Mm-hmm. Well, a couple of things, and you're absolutely right. I mean, people have, in the casino industry, have started to treat these as commodity products, primarily because our competition tries to tell them that they're commodity products. I think most of those casinos that have moved away from us and brought in a different provider have recognized that while an ATM may be an ATM, the way it processes and the speed with which it processes and how often it's up and whether it's been properly serviced, maintained, and filled is more than just a commodity. But then moving beyond that, the systems that you have in a cage today to allow you to meet the FinCEN requirements of the federal government, to know your customer and understand where movements are going on with cash across your casino floor are so important and are potentially so expensive if you violate them, that again, looking at a company like ours, the only one that has that capability of giving you compliance products that you can use in your cage, giving you kiosks that you can use on your casino floor, either as ATMs, bill breakers, ticket breakers, or ticket spitters at this point. And also ATMs in the traditional sense of ATMs, providing all of that along with an e-wallet, which provides the capability of moving it in a much more frictionless fashion across the casino floor, really is far beyond a commodity product. I mean, these are products that really are at the cutting edge of how people are going to treat payments in the future.
And e-wallet and those kinds of things are also help answer one of those questions that as this industry obsesses about millennials, people who don't walk around with money in their pocket.
Correct. Absolutely. And what we found is that cash is still king, and use of cards still far exceeds the use of mobile phones and mobile pay systems. But they are starting to gain traction, and they're gaining traction primarily amongst millennials. And so we are trying to make sure that the casinos will be prepared to use any form of payment, no matter whether it be in a card, whether it be a card attached to accounts in the casino, or whether it be somebody's phone, that you're able to use that in the casino environment today as well as tomorrow. Because
you are in 2/3 of the casinos, or whatever the percentage is throughout this country, you get a universal view of the industry. Any particular trends that are worth noting?
We haven't seen any particular trends. What we have noticed is as the macroeconomy has improved, we've seen casinos now starting to improve as well. And we've noticed pretty much across the board that the casino industry is healthy today. There are some pockets here and there where the local economy is more of a drag on casino operations than the macroeconomy is a boost to casino operations. But by and large, I think the casino industry today is very healthy.
Pretty healthy. What would you like investors to best understand about Everi?
What I try and convey to investors every chance I get is that we're more than the sum of our parts. I mean, we really are a partner with the casino operation. We make games that we think your customers want to play, and that's great. A lot of people do that. But we also are working on methods of getting value to that machine from the customer that doesn't require you to hire a bunch of new people for your casino floor. It doesn't require you to change out the size of your count room or add new accounting systems to figure out how all of this is going on in your casino floor. And we're doing that through the incorporation of both the payment systems and the slot machines that exist on the floor with the existing systems that are behind those slot machines and connected to them. So if anything, I want them to understand how fully enmeshed we are in a casino operation and how readily we can bring values from the outside of a casino into a casino and send them back out again for the customers. That to me is value that is truly unique to Everi.
Well, we've covered a lot of territory.
Yeah.
Any last items you'd like to discuss?
No, I'd just like to invite everybody to please come see us at our booth and come play Fruit Ninja on the Everi machines and see Penn and Teller in the booth, as well as Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart's son. He'll be there to cut the ribbon on Casablanca.
Great. Mike, thank you.
Thank you, Frank.